it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today is Top Tip Tuesday, so I am here with you to talk about using blends. So on Simple Stamping Saturday this last week, I used the Magnolia Blooms and the Good Morning Magnolia stamp sets, and I used blends to do the colouring. And someone has asked for information about how I used the blends. Now I'm going to use slightly different colours because I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Petal Pink is the colour that I used on Saturday. I used Petal Pink and Mossy Meadow. So today I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo and Old Olive because I think those will be easier to see. So not necessarily a colour scheme that I would use for a magnolia, but let's go for it. So I'm going to start by inking up using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad, and you will see that I use a twisting motion to ink. That's certainly what I do to start because it's a large stamp and I want to make sure I've got ink everywhere. I then go back in and just dab. The reason I do the twist is because that makes sure you get ink everywhere, but if you leave the twist, if you just twist, you'll see, because it's a fabric ink pad, that you'll actually see a kind of swoosh on the stamped image. So I then go back in and just make sure that I've got a good covering that is not swooshed. Swooshed is of course a technical word for, well, nothing really. So having inked up a large stamp, I'll actually do it that way I think, straight down, and then lots of pressure on the ink pad. Try not to rock it. You can sort of press so that it's using the foam behind the pad, behind the stamp, but don't rock. And the reason I say that is if you've got any ink on the edges, if you rock your stamp, you'll catch the edge of your stamp which has been inked up. So that's the basic image. That's the word I'm looking for. Now, I'm not going to necessarily colour the whole thing. This is a tutorial, so it's more about the how than the complete thing. I think actually I'll start with the leaves. So what I like to do is start with the lighter shade. I'll do both, but I generally start with the lighter shade. So this is my light Old Olive, and I prefer the brush end for larger areas. So I just swoosh in, and then so I go round the outside and then cover the middle. And then while that's still in inverted commas wet, and I say in inverted commas because alcohol ink does dry very quickly, I will go in with the bullet end and just add any shading I want. So there is shading already drawn in, so I find that just doing a bit of a scribble where there is already some shading and just emphasising that is quite a good way to go. And just make sure that you cover it all. Don't worry if you go outside the lines, I do it all the time, and I will give you a trick for that as well. And then come back in with your light, and that then blends out the lines. And I just, you know, swoosh it round. So that is, it possibly would have been a good idea if I'd zoomed you in. Shall I zoom you in and I'll do another leaf? Try not to make you too ill by zooming. Okay, so I'll now do this leaf and show you again. So start with your light shade. And again, I've gone outside the lines. It's just one of those things I do. But start with your light shade. Come in with the bullet end if it's fine line, but either end, I tend to use the bullet end for then coming in and doing my shading. And I kind of like with these sorts of images to make it a scribbly line, so it's not a hard edge. So really where there's veining and where the artist has put some obvious shading, and then come in with your light shade again. Can you see it's very obviously scribbled? And then you come in with your light shade again and blend that out. And just keep adding ink until you're happy with the blend. And there you go. So that's a much neater edge. And I'm just going to grab something. Hopefully it's, yes, that'll do. Okay, so for the petal, it's slightly different in that I don't want to go all the way to the edge. It's going to look very odd using Flirty Flamingo rather than Petal Pink, because it's a very much more definite colour, but you'll get the idea. So this is the middle of a flower. This is the light Flirty Flamingo. So that's where I would finish if I was doing Petal Pink. Come in with my dark Flirty Flamingo and just add a bit of colour in the middle, and then get my light one again and blend that out. So you get a nice shade rather than definite colours. And I'm going to grab Petal Pink so that I can show you what I mean by it will be less obvious. So you can see that that's a very smooth edge, apart from we've then got a definite line there. But if I do it in Petal Pink, which is a much lighter colour, so this is the light Petal Pink, and then the dark Petal Pink, and then the light Petal Pink again, just to blend that out, you will see that there isn't that hard line. Now there is a, make sure I get the right one, it's this one. You can, with your lifter, soften the edge a bit, and I'm going to show you the back. So that has softened the edge. I'm going to have to make sure that I get this back into the right place. What the colour lifter actually does is push the colour further into the paper. So I'm going to do quite a lot of colour lifting and show you what I mean. So I'm going to blend that out quite a long way. And it's just worth knowing that this is what you're actually doing. So I have blended that out quite a long way. And I'll go even further down. If I then turn that over, can you see that that's very dark and it's pushing the ink back and, you know, the memento back? It's become a lot darker on the back than it was. So if I do that again, but this time I'll do it on a leaf, it's just so that you understand what actually is happening. So if I do this one, and I'm going to deliberately do it from the bottom, as if I've put the wrong colour down, and I'm trying desperately to lift it up, to take it away. I don't want it there. Panic, panic. So it is lifting it up, but if we look at the back, can you see that's gone very dark? And this was the other one. So that's basically what the colour lifter is doing, is it's actually pushing it further into the card. So it's not so much lifting it as pushing it back. Now, I did say if you go over the edge, don't worry. Smoky Slate or Grey Granite Light are great for this. Again, I need to make sure I'm in shot. So I've gone over the line there. What you can do, and this is particularly good if you're stamping straight onto card rather than die cutting, is you can very gently just go around the edge of your image and add an outline. And it actually makes the image pop off the page a bit. And it covers the, so can you see there, that's where I went over the edge, and it kind of covers that up a bit. You do need to wait until your ink, your other ink is dry, because otherwise the coloured ink will bleed further into. So that would be your last step. Having coloured everything, you would then leave it and then go back in and colour the outside, but it just helps lift the image. So I hope you found that. Actually, no, I did say I was going to do something else. I did say I was going to do dark and then light, didn't I? So let's choose another petal and make sure you're in shot. So if I do dark first on the Flirty Flamingo, so these are the kind of areas that I would do dark on this petal, and then come in with the light Flirty Flamingo, it still works, but you're going to have to do more work to blend that, and what you're going to then be doing is pushing the dark back in. So you're pushing it away. What you're effectively doing, let me turn it over, is pushing the dark further into the paper, because the lighter colours work in exactly the same way as the colour lifter, by pushing colour back rather than layering on top. So if we've now added light Flirty Flamingo, if we then come back in and add our dark, and then come in again with our light, we get a much better blend than by starting with our dark and then trying to push it with the light. It's a much more subtle look. So I hope that has helped. If you've got any more questions about blends, do please ask. I mean, do remember that if you just want a colour, just colour. So if you want just Flirty Flamingo petals, just pick a petal. There we are, there's a petal. And let's just have Flirty Flamingo petals. You don't have to shade, so you could do one dark and one light. You don't have to think about doing the blending. You can just use them as colouring. But obviously they're made to blend, they're called blends, so it would be nice to blend. I hope you found that helpful and useful and all those other good things. As I say, if you've got any other questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to do whatever I can to give you some more hints and tips. So thank you very much indeed for watching today. Let me zoom you out again. Do remember we've got bonus days. I'll try not to make you too ill doing this. We've still got bonus days and the wonderful signing up offer. So if you've got a long shopping list, you can get up to £155 or the equivalent in euros for the usual £99 with free shipping. Brilliant. And then next month you would get a voucher for £8 or I think it's €12 to put towards an order. So it's even more free money. Oh, don't we love free stuff? So thank you very much. Do have a look at those offers. They are in the information in my blog post, which is linked below. They're in the post. They're also on the sidebar. So yeah, just go and have a look at those. And let me know if you've got any questions or comments. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel and haven't already subscribed, please do so. It's bottom right hand corner. And if you want to know when I am posting a new video, hit the notification bell as well, and then you'll get an email. Otherwise, just hit the subscribe button, and then when you're next back on YouTube, you will get to see that I've posted a new video. If you need any of these products, please do consider shopping with me if you're in the UK. It's people who shop with me who keep these videos going. So that's great. And if you use the host code for an order between £20 and £150, you'll also get to share in the host rewards. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!